How's everybody doing? And thanks for tuning in to Wicked Warnings, your number one source for construction and emergency strobe lighting safety equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, unicycles, wheelchairs, and really nice 2022 Ford Expedition. If you have a Ford Expedition like this, year 2022, congratulations, you got the facelift on the front end. I personally myself have a 19 with the older style. Wife and kids love it a lot. It's a great all-around truck. Now, if you're driving the new style like this and you want some simple, effective warning, what we've done on the front of this Expedition is added our 3-inch mpower. We drilled a single hole in the grille and used our 3M primer promoter to adhere that mpower with the 3M tape that's provided with the light. We chose a 2-color light, as you can see, but you could choose a single color amber if you'd liked as well. The reason we went with the mpower is this particular vehicle will actually sleep the headlights. As you just saw, the DRLs in the headlights go off with the ignition off. This client needs to have his lights active with the ignition off. So our auto flasher module on the DRL, although in testing right now, wasn't the right solution. So we went with the 3-inch mpower on the grille. However, as you can see in the rear, this is a full LED from the factory vehicle. So there is no option to drill hideaway or any other kind of light into the tail light housing. Our auto flasher module is the right choice for the back end if you want to flash those white LED reverse lights. That's a no-cut install. No wires are cut during this process. There's factory rubber grommets right in the spare tire area underneath the back carpet that are easy to access the wiring that you need. And above that, you'll see our 4-head Wicked stick in amber white. That's selectable also. You can use it only amber or only white. And it also has a flood white override. If you wanted to relay drive that off the reverse circuit, you could. All right, so now I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about this install and explain to you the bundle that you're buying. We bundled up all the parts that we used to do this, minus a couple of fabricated parts we had here in the shop. And I'll go over that in regards to the stick in the back when we get there. As far as what we're providing in the front here, you're going to get your amber white mpowers, 2 as shown. You're going to get a package of 94 primer. You'll need the drill bit and you'll need to make the connection between the amber white mpower and the 25 feet of 22-5 wire we provide you to extend both of those mpower lights forward towards the dashboard, through the firewall, and to your switch. We're also going to provide 25 feet of 16-2 to go from the battery through the firewall to the switch. We're going to provide another 25 feet of 18-5. That's going to run from the switch all the way back to the slick stick. We're also providing the rear auto flasher kit, which will include its own 18-5 power to go from the switch back to the rear reverse auto flasher kit. As far as how we ran the wiring for those grill lights, it's quite easy. If you center up the light where it's shown, there's a foam gasket. If you stay inside to the center of the grill of the foam gasket, you're able to run your wiring right up behind the grill. Plenty of room to not affect the louvers in there, the temperature louvers that are behind that grill. The active shutters, I believe they call them. You'll run your wiring up and it'll come out after you remove the top panel underneath the hood. You'll be able to see the wiring right there. You run it to the driver's side and run it through the firewall. I use the factory firewall gasket and I use our wire insertion tool. I'm going to link to that wire insertion tool right now in case you don't have one. Go ahead and look in the upper right hand of the video right now and you'll see the wire insertion tool that I discussed for going through the factory boot in the firewall. We're also going to put a fuse kit so you can grab your fused power right from the battery, which is on the passenger side, driver's side of the vehicle. I think I may have misspoke back there. If I said passenger side, I meant drivers. We're running our wiring through the boot on the factory firewall, driver's side. The battery's on the driver's side. The only thing on the passenger side is that passenger mpower light. It is imperative that you use that 3M primer promoter also. It gives the mpower a much stronger bond. I found the actual true 3M is better than the little white moist towelette that's provided with the mpower. The primer promoter works better. Alrighty, so around the back, as far as the reverse auto flasher, I'm going to go ahead and link you to the full video right now in the upper right-hand corner. You'll, of course, be able to view that video as well on the auto flasher product. It's a fairly simple install for the reverse lights in the rear, and we go over all of the details in that video. Alrighty, now as far as the stick that we mount inside, as you can see on this build, I elected to put it on the hatch for a couple of reasons. First reason being that this particular client is not in a heavily dangerous environment, so he won't have his hatch open and need warning at the same time as much as other clients might, like police officers or other areas like security. And I wanted to leave the opening to the back of the car as large as possible. This way, when the hatch goes up, the stick goes with it. There's nothing in the way if you were at Best Buy trying to load one of those gigantic TVs or anything else that you were trying to load in your expedition. Now, as far as how we mounted that stick, I'm going to link to a video that we did on a pair of Ford Escapes for Collins Engineering. This particular expedition, by the way, is going to Thomas Engineering. Shout out to Thomas Engineering Group over here in Chicago, Illinois. Great company to work for or work with. If you need any engineering, you could hit up Collins or Thomas. Both of them are decent clients of ours. So as far as how that's mounted, we're using a riv nut insert right in the factory retainer hole and some 1/4-inch threaded rod with 1/4-inch hardware. This is very easy to do on your own. Riv nut tools can be bought locally at Harbor Freight. We're also just using a generic 90-degree bracket with the included rear studs. There's a stud bolt that you slide in. It's a T-bolt actually included with the slick stick. We take the little foot mount off and we slide the T-bolts in the back, put them on a 90-degree bracket, and we use that riv nut with the 1/4-inch all thread. The length of all thread that I used here is about 3 inches. So you cut yourself a couple pieces of 3-inch all thread and you drill through exactly the same way I did in the Escape video. We follow the path of that factory retainer from the hole that it was mounted in back through the plastic, drill a 1/4-inch hole through the whole plastic so your 1/4-inch all thread will slide through, and then put a riv nut in the hole where the retainer used to snap in. And that on the left there, you can see we also did a 3/8 hole for our wire, and we did in fact run the wire completely tucked on this one. The wiring is ran right up into here, completely tucked through the factory boot, which is fairly easy to do. These boots are a little tricky when you remove them. Remove the rubber first, and then work the plastic with your little screwdriver. It's really not that big a deal. So there you have it. Of course, there's many different patterns you can choose for this stick, and you will be able to tweak those 90-degree brackets to aim the stick light just perfect. We had to open them up. I believe they're about 95 degrees right now. Just slightly opened up that raised the stick, or actually lowered the stick a little bit and leveled it out. You want that rear stick to be level, so that way the light is coming out straight backwards, not up in the sky, not down onto the ground, straight backwards. As level as can be is what we're shooting for. Alrighty, as far as the switch location, this is where we went with one of our green full illumination switches. That's what we'll be putting in here as well, is the green full illumination switch. I'll try and get you a little better focus here. Nope, that's as good as it's going to get. So that's where we went with it right there. There's a view right there for you. I will say there is a little bit of plastic to clean out behind there if you choose this location. We experimented. I was thinking about possibly going here with one. I didn't. I went right here and it turned out pretty nice. As I said, a little bit of plastic to clean out. No big deal at all. Underneath, back behind there is where you'll find that firewall access. And we have a couple of videos in our DIY that show how to use that wire insertion tool to get through the firewall right back there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like this package and you might put one on your own expedition. If you want to modify it in any way, you can always take pieces of this video and create your own custom cart. No need to do exactly as you see me do, but if you like it, you can click to buy the entire package as you see here. We're going to put in some assortment of heat shrink for your connections where you want to have the waterproofness up front here primarily. Most of the connections in the rear are actually inside the hatch, so you won't need extra heat shrink for that. That'll be just connected inside via standard uninsulated or insulated interior connectors. So we'll give you some 1/8-inch heat shrink. We're going to give you some uninsulated butt connectors to make those mpower connections and to make your connections at your fuse for your battery. And then what you'll need on your side of the equation is probably some Tessa tape, some electrical tape, You might need some split loom, which we don't sell yet, but we are moving into inventory soon, and some other miscellaneous odds and ends like crimpers. And if you'd like a digital multimeter, our favorite Unity meter, I'm going to link to that right now as well. Take a look at all that stuff, make your install easier, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Drop a comment, show me what you've done on your 22 expeditions, and stay tuned for the next one. Maybe we'll be messing with those headlights. I'd like to see those C-rings working. It just didn't really suit this client's needs, so we didn't have a chance to mess with it. But I am happy about those reverse lights. Again, Wicked Warnings Auto Flasher on the factory LED reverse lights of a 22 Expedition. No cut install, no cutting factory wires, no damage, totally reversible, and the only kit on the market that will wig-wag left, right, the reverse lights of a 22 Expedition. Thanks again for watching Wicked Warnings, your #1 source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, SUVs, unicycles, surfboards, go-peds, scooters, and 22 Ford Expedition, just like you see here. See you guys later.